Flirting is such a weird thing for me.
Well,
I don't understand why people do it.
I kept, like, playing it off in comedy, because she kept saying things about me. I just kept kind of ignoring her while still talking to her in a friendly way, but not, like, in a flirting back way.
Like, I feel like the flirting is, like...
But she has a boyfriend, too.
Poly people exist.
Like, I know this.
Well, she's not, though.
But I'm also aro as hell.
Fair enough.
I'm way flirtier when I'm intoxicated or inebriated, because there's not much of a filter of, like, what is the consequence of this certain action.
Like the confused a-zero noise of understanding something in theory, but not execution. Like, I have read so many stories, I have read so many articles, because, you know, I write romance, but, like, thinking about, like, the romance shit, and, like, I can't base things based on my own thoughts here.
Yeah.
I don't have them. And if I do, they're actually pretty harsh.
You have to 100% sensationalize the romance. Because, no, if you just write a generic romance scenario, like some random domestic bullshit, but you don't, like, add some sensationalization to it, it's gonna be boring.
What's sensationalization?
Like, you know, he kissed me and I saw fireworks, like that bullshit. That doesn't happen. You close your eyes when you kiss, you know what you see? The dark.
And you accidentally bump noses.
Sometimes the teeth, crash together if you're, like, close your eyes too preemptively. It's a bad time.
But them being, like, the teeth clack together and weird mixing of spit and nose bumps, but it was perfect. And my brain's like, no, it ain't.
Well,
That's
in those, it's perfect because it's with the other person. Like, any time spent with that person is perfect.
Like, I get that that's what they're trying to convey, but my brain is like, this is unhygienic as fuck.
Yep.
You're not wrong.
Like, that's a lot of my default, like, thought processes when, like, reading romance and smut is like, that's unhygienic as fuck.
When reading smut, they don't give a shit how unhygienic it
They
is.
don't
They're
give a
going
shit.
to write it. Because they're going to leave out the parts where it's like, this is all the work that has to go into making this hygienic. Because that's not sexy.
Yeah. No, that's why...
But I'm the person that would.
I am too, though.
I'm the person that would write out a scene to make it hygienic.
Because that'd be our king. We'd be like, you are so clean.
Hell yeah.
And he's like, why do you want me to take a shower first? I'm like, because you need to be clean. Like, doctors are clean before they enter orifices. You need to go brush your teeth. Like, these things need to happen. I don't want to bump nasties all dirty.
Bump nasties?
Yeah. It's an old phrase we used to say when Nova walked in on us. Well, I just like hygiene. I mean, you know, I smelled the man before I saw him in Walmart. I just like hygiene. That lets me know that you care enough to not...
You're well taken care of.
Yeah, you're not going to disinfect me.
I think you mean...
Infect me.
Yes.
The opposite.
Yeah. I don't want... Things need to be fresh,
clean.
Uh-huh.
You don't want to risk infections.
Yeah, but, like, you read a romance novel or, like, a smutty fanfic, and they're, like, fresh off the battlefield. They've been eating nothing but the rotting corpses of their fallen brethren for weeks.
And they're, like, in these corsets where they haven't showered in 2 weeks.
Yeah, like, just fucking, like... And then beneath the sweat and grime and mud and blood of his armor were chiseled abs. I don't give a shit how chiseled they are. If they are caked in that much shit, I don't want them near me.
No.
But, like, they'll make a show of, like, like, licking down the torso, and you're just like,
I was specifically...
that's gross.
Sorry. I had one that was set in, like, revolutionary France. No. No.
No.
I don't care that you're, like, a vampire and you've been traveling together and, like, oh, there are feelings. You just traced her nipples with a piece of cheese. I don't give a shit. It's not sexy anymore.
Like, if you come straight from work and you're not gonna come, right?
Nah. You ain't.
Neither
I
one
knew
of
it was
us.
coming.
Yeah, he didn't. That's just, I cannot even, If you just got home from, like, I could not imagine a man trotting home from battle in all of his armor and then just running home
Like, he
Yeah.
And
shirks
it's
his
just like
armor and
dropping
then is
to your knees
immediately...
for him.
Just,
No, thanks.
oh my love. And I'm
It's
like,
been so long.
like, it would not go like you would, like, I would be like, I'm like, mm-mm.
I'd be like,
Like,
well...
did someone actually shit on you? Like, what is
I'd
happening?
be like, I will show my undying gratitude and thankfulness that you were alive after you bathe.
I don't like the feeling of old sticky sweat touching
There's
my
some
skin.
people that are into old sticky sweat.
That's true.
I'm not one of them.
And golden showers, but that's not me.
Not me either.
To each their own. I just need you guys to know that if this conversation makes it into an episode, it's gonna be either an episode of a fucking turtle or a cartoon character.
I don't
It's gonna
know,
be
dude.
somewhere.
If it's the speed paint of the turtle.
I just read another thing that was like ADD means you have several inappropriate conversations without realizing the level of inappropriateness.
Like, not being able to recognize
Yep.
the appropriate level, like
Was
what is
also a si-
appropriate for
yeah.
conversations.
Mhm.
I feel like that vibes with us and how much we
100%.
talk about shit and sex
And periods.
and periods.
Not in the same time.
Listen.
Ooh.
That sounds
Well,
like a
two
bad
of those
time.
just happen
I feel like-
anyways.
There's a movie we watched ages ago that was in like this collection of
That-
horror movies, like horror thriller movies, and it was a
Okay.
zombie flick. And I just remember there being this biker and him bragging about getting his red wings, and that's how I
gross.
learned what that meant.
I'm trying to imagine which parts of our conversation at this point are staying.
I couldn't tell you.
I have to draw this turtle looking traumatized. Just have him with a speech bubble that said, "Oh, you guys are bumping nasty."
There was a few times I took a drink and I was like, what if she just has my character going, anyway.
I just edit the icon to have a drink.
Uh-huh. It's been a wild ride. I guess I'm very familiar with myself throughout the years, and I guess I'm not embarrassed anymore.
Fair
It's
enough.
like,
You know what you're about.
yeah.
Life's too short to spend being embarrassed about your attractions.
I guess I'm fairly normal compared to the conversations I've had with other people. But there are sometimes people are like, for example, the meme, and it's like when the red button that says, I'll call you a princess and praise you, and then the other one's like, you're a slut and degrade me, and then there's the woman like freaking out, heavy breathing. There was one girl that was like, you better not ever call me a slut.
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
I'm not a degradation person, but I also don't think I'm a praise person. I don't like being complimented, but I also don't like being ridiculed. I don't like being perceived.
That
Someone-
would make, if you were not Ace Arrow, that would make sex difficult.
Yeah, someone walks
Do
in and they're
not
like,
perceive. I don't like people thinking about
someone
me in
just
that
walks
sort of
in
way.
and they're like,
Fair enough.
hi honey, I'm home. Have you had a good day?
Eyes closed, walking blind through the house.
Tries to hug you, just hits you, like bops you in the head. If you're looking, oh, you're not. I'm not looking. Who's looking? Not me. You're not looking lovely
I
today.
see
Get with a
nothing.
blind guy. Or girl. Find a blind person. A gateway
I
is opened for you.
I don't think that would be acceptable. Not because they're blind and can't see me, but because just because somebody can't see doesn't mean they can't picture shit in their mind. You can picture things in your brain without
based-
your ocular nerves. So, like, if nobody's ever perceived anything, yes, envision me as an omnipresent void. Then get a
And you
picture
have
that
such a
way.
deep
And I'm
voice.
so touch-averse
You have
that,
such
like,
a
you
deep
can't
voice.
touch me to get a feeling of what I'm shaped like.
I just want to know what a blind partner would think, having never touched you, only heard your deep voice.
You know, I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who have been like, man, you sound like you smoke 17 packs of cigarettes in a day. And then there are other people like, man, your voice is so calming. You could read audiobooks. And I'm like, cool, that's great. I don't know what that one person who thought I was smoking 17 packs a day was hearing, but I think there was something faulty with their headphones or some shit.
I guess it's like, you know, you read a book and you kind of fantasize about what the characters look like.
Mm-hmm.
We have the grace to have actually seen bodies in the way that they body. But I can't imagine not have ever
If somebody has never seen a body
landscape
before.
or anatomy and you just try to put that shit together. Oh my god. Like nothing has to be symmetrical in their head. Can you imagine where they think eyeballs are?
I don't fucking know.
Do you think they get, like, Lovecraftian horrors in place of people? Just like, hey, Frank, we are abstract paintings.